Hey there, YouTube. Ghost Jake here with you today. How's your day going? I hope you're having a good day. My day was pretty good. It is about 9 o'clock where I am, so good night, depending. Anyway, I'm about to start my review on Once Upon a Time, Season 7, Episode 6. But before I start my review, I just want to give a quick little update. If for those of you who visit my channel for my Exorcist TV show reviews, my review for I believe it's episode 7 won't be until it comes on Hulu at 12. That's when I'll watch it, so it probably won't be until about 1 in the morning. So it is coming, but I decided to watch Once Upon a Time live, and we'll wait till The Exorcist is on Hulu, because that way, when Hulu puts The Exorcist on Hulu at midnight, and they put Once Upon a Time on Hulu at 2 in the morning if I do it the other way around. Okay, now let's get started. So what did I think about Once Upon a Time? Once Upon a Time, Season 7, Episode 6. Well, I thought it was a pretty solid episode from what I saw. I did miss a little bit, but I don't think what I missed really impacted the episode. If it did, feel free to let me know in the comments. So, where I pick up at, where I missed like the opening. I missed the very first opening scene. Like I picked up like pretty much at the end of the Once Upon a Time credits, and then it all of a sudden went to Ronnie's bar. Now Ronnie was talking to Henry about the photograph. I was talking to Henry about the photograph that she found at the end of the episode, at the previous episode. And it turned out it was a pretty good. And they're like, "Oh, I don't know if this is real. This could be." They pretty much, the short version is they think the photograph is fake. They think that Victoria Belfry or Ivy, one of the two, photoshopped the photograph from Henry's book. And from Henry's book. Okay, and then after they talk for a little while, Jacinda comes in, and she lets Ronnie and Henry know that they bought a food truck, and Henry offers to help Jacinda try to fix it, and Jacinda kind of declines. And then Lucy, pretty much after, it was a little before or after Jacinda left, but I'm pretty sure it was after Jacinda left. Lucy shows up. Excuse me. Lucy shows up and she's like, "Oh, Ivy told me about the photograph," and Lucy believes that Ivy is, helping them now. But Ivy has different motives. What those are, we'll figure that out. We figured that out. We get a clue in this episode. And then Lucy is still, on that. Oh, see, this photograph is proof because you. She pretty much tells Ronnie that you're Regina, and Regina adopted Henry Mills in the real world in Boston. Then, right? Then she goes. Then Lucy, she goes to. Lucy, she leaves to go find evidence. Anyway, now we're going to go to the other realm really fast. In the other realm, there's some stuff going on. Okay, let's see. It shows up, and when we pick up in the other realm, Cinderella and Henry are working on Henry's motorcycle, right? Trying to fix it. Then all of a sudden, some like bandits or whatever they are, show up to try to steal Henry's motorcycle, because that's pretty bad. Because Henry's motorcycle can get them quite a bit of money, and then give them quite a bit of money. And then Cinderella and Henry fight off the bandits or whatever they are. And then Regina shows up and tries to help him, and then Regina starts to realize, oh, Henry might not actually need my help anymore. He's, not that little kid he took care of. And then Regina goes off to do something on her own, and then she stumbles upon this girl in this like robe. It kind of looks like a robe, but I don't really know what those times of clothes are. But anyway, and all of a sudden this like plant creature attacks the girl in the robe, and Regina throws a fireball at the plant creature, and it turns out that the woman in the robe is actually Ivy / Drusilla, if I said her name, her realm name right. But, and then they get talking, and then all of a sudden, sorry again, I don't know why I'm yawning so much. And they started talking, and and Ivy, I'll just call her by her Hyperion Heights name. Ivy tells Regina that that she doesn't really want to be around her mother, and that she wants to pretty much get rid of her mother. So, and then Ivy lets it slip that she was actually born with magic. Like natural, and her mother never wanted her to learn how to control it. And so Regina is in the other realm, is teaching Ivy how to control her magic. Right? Teaching her how to control her magic. Then we then all of a sudden while they're practicing, Ivy's is getting discouraged because she seems to be failing. She's like, oh, I don't think I can do this. And then it's like, oh, you just need the right and proper motivation to do it. And she like crumbles the building that's gonna fall on top of Regina, and then Ivy ends up saving Regina with her magic, and then Regina's like, oh, see, you pretty much can do it. Good job. And then Ivy is pretty much the gist is Ivy's wanting to kill Lady Tremaine or Victoria Belfry in the other realm. And she asks Regina for help. And Regina's like, no, I'm not going to let you do this. Right? And then Ivy gets really mad, and then she goes and finds like the prince that she was destined to marry. Finds a prince. Anyway, then right before we go back to Hyperion Heights, like out of the brush comes Rumpelstiltskin, and he and Regina start catching up. Anyway, now back to Hyperion Heights. In Hyperion Heights, we have in Hyperion Heights we have in Hyperion Heights we have Ivy and Victoria Belfry in Victoria's office. She has a migraine, and all of a sudden there's these certain types of flowers, and I'm not sure what type of flowers they are, but anyway, the flowers, Ivy takes them because she's like, oh, maybe it's the flowers or the pollen that's giving you a migraine, and then Lady Tremaine kind of agrees, and she takes the flowers, and she goes up to that tower or wherever it is in Hyperion Heights. Now in that tower, she is seeing that the that weird lady in the back of that Lady Tremaine has locked up in there. I still don't know what her name is. I might have to watch I might have to watch season from episode 1 to episode 6 all over again on Hulu to see if I can figure out what that lady's name is, if that's locked up in the tower, if her name has been dropped yet. Because through 6 episodes, I don't think it has, and if it has, I've just missed it. Anyway, at the hospital after Ivy gives that weird lady the flower so she can do some like magical stuff to it, and at the hospital we have Rogers, aka Hook, and we have Weaver, aka Rumpelstiltskin. And Rumpelstiltskin is getting ready. Rumpel is getting ready to get out of the hospital because he's got shot in episode 5, I believe. And then Rogers informs Weaver that, oh, you can't come back to work yet because the captain pretty much said you have to take at least another couple days to a week off. And then all of a sudden, Ivy gets, not Ivy, Rogers goes with Tilly, aka Alice, right? And helps, Alice, or Tilly helps Rogers find clues helps Rogers find clues to, helps Rogers find clues to who, kidnapped that girl, killed that girl, And he looks at a few different angles that may help, right? And then he ends up going to this house and he sees one of the members that have died. Oh, one of the members with that weird tattoo, have died on the floor or gotten knocked unconscious. So he goes in and takes him into custody or tries to revive him, one of the two. Now, like in the meantime with that, Ivy is back in the tower with some sort of door because that lady wanted some sort of soil to get some weird plant to grow, whatever it is, and she makes it able to grow, and she grabs like a seed or whatever, right? In the grabs a seed and then takes it to Ronnie's bar. Now, in the meantime, Henry, he goes over to the food truck, and at the food truck, he's pretty much asking Jacinda out on a date. He even has a boombox and everything. Kind of made her a mixtape. And then Jacinda says, yeah, I agree. And then Henry's trying to convince, she's just trying to convince Jacinda to go out with him and, at least go out on a date. And Jacinda's like, yeah, I don't know. And then Henry feels like he has to defend himself about what happened with the drinks with Ivy. Right? And then, I personally don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, it's not like Jacinda and Henry are dating or anything. It's like not a big deal. Why would you go have drinks with Ivy or something? But oh well, just thinking as a personal thing. Anyway. But I can see if you actually like that person, then it might be a big deal if you would go having drinks with her stepsister before you're dating someone. But anyway, back off of that. So Jacinda eventually agrees. Now, anyway, Regina, Ronnie is trying to help. Ronnie is trying to help Lucy find truth about Regina, I think, but they're just trying to play along so Lucy will stop believing in like these fairy tales. And then all of a sudden, Lucy and Ronnie go to the police station to talk to Weaver about if Regina Mills ever existed and if she ever adopted a boy in Boston. And we've come to some surprising results. Now, we go back to the other realm for one final time. Now, in the other realm, we have Ivy talking to Lady Tremaine, and Lady Tremaine is pretty much like, because Ivy is like, oh, like I found someone to kill you because you're taking out my, you're taking my you want to take my heart, and then the prince is getting ready to kill Lady Tremaine. Then all of a sudden, Regina stops the prince. She followed Ivy, and it's like, no, this isn't the way to do this. It's like when I told you all that stuff about me casting the dark curse and seeking revenge, is like that wasn't the way to do things, right? And then all of a sudden, Ivy uses the uses her magic and kills the prince she wants to find out. Here's the clue. Kills the prince she wants to find, right? To blacken her own heart, and cast the dark curse that Regina was talking about. Except Ivy has a plan to make her curse indestructible. Anyway, so Ivy is actually the mastermind behind everything about Hyperion Heights. She is fooling everyone, and she's doing a damn good job too. You gotta actually congratulate her for the dedication. Anyway, and then Ivy vanishes somewhere with her magic. Now back to Hyperion Heights. Ivy shows up at the bar, at Ronnie's bar, and she is getting drinks for her and Ronnie, and all of a sudden, when they start drinking, Ronnie takes a few drinks of her whiskey, whatever she's drinking, and all of a sudden, she's been drugged. Ronnie has been drugged by Ivy, and Ivy's like, and what Ivy did was, you see some flashes start to happen, and all of a sudden, what Ivy did was Ivy woke up Regina or Ronnie from the curse, because she kind of wanted to gloat, and she wanted to see how strong Regina is, and she wanted to see how strong Regina is about if she could break the curse or not, because apparently she put a fail safe in Ivy's curse. She put a fail safe in her curse that if Henry and Cinderella share true love's kiss, or if someone else does, but I think it's mainly going to be focused on Henry and Cinderella. Right? That something bad is going to happen to somebody. We don't know. Ivy did not reveal that in Hyperion Heights. And then all of a sudden, oh. And she's like, you're going to help me, before Ivy leaves the bar. You're going to help me do some stuff. I pretty much woke you up to help me, because you're going to ensure my curse stays, in place, pretty much. And then she leaves the bar. And then we see Henry's calling. And then they eventually meet. And then Regina and Henry eventually meet by this park bench. And at this point, Regina is Regina. She's not Ronnie anymore. And they start talking. He's like, oh, I think it went good with Jacinda and Ron Regina is really torn up. Anyway, and then that is pretty much how the episode ends. I did forget to mention one thing. The one thing I did forget to mention is when Weaver came back to the bar with the information about Regina. There was some handwriting, and the handwriting matches. The handwriting matches Ronnie's. That was back then, anyway. I just thought I'd throw that in there as a little treat. Anyway, I thought this episode was very good. I can't wait for episode 7, even though I think episode 7 is going to be a 2-hour-long special. This is Ghost Jake signing off. See you guys at 1 in the morning for The Exorcist. Bye.